Back to Clark Sports Cards. Today, instead of doing our customary pack ripping, we're going to do a little bit of review. I sent off for some cards to be graded. Thought I would try a company to see how they perform and how they grade a little bit. And the company is GMA. I know a lot of people have heard of GMA. They've been around for about 15 years, or a little bit more than 15 years. They are stationed at Odessa, Florida. Their website is up to date as well, and their turnaround is phenomenal. 7 days guaranteed upon them getting the cards and grading them and getting them back to you. So what I did is, with our first try with them, I went through some cards, and I submitted 87 cards to be graded, and one of my buddies submitted 32, so we could get our bulk order over 100, because they do provide bulk service at a discount. Not a big discount, but their grading criteria is the same as pretty much about anybody else, and you'll go on their website, you can see it. I've seen a couple people comment about how they give away pretty much 10s pretty easily, so we'll go over that a little bit as well. But in the review, I wanted to go over a little bit more, not as opinion based, but more of the results that we got. And I can't speak for the other person that submitted 32 cards, but my 87 cards I submitted, I went over them pretty close. Magnifying glasses, looked at corners, centering, so forth and so on, edges, gloss and surface and everything like that, just to test it and to make sure that what I'm getting, I feel when I submitted it, was what I was anticipating. Out of the 87 cards submitted, I did pull out about, I don't know, let's say about 10 that I figured would probably not be 10s, but I still wanted to submit them to see the results back. And these are my results. And we'll kind of go over them a little bit more in detail. But the 87 cards I submitted, I got one that was an 8.5, 9 that was a 9, 7 that was 77 that was 10s. So when you look at it as far as percentage wise, 1% was 8.5, 10% was 9s, and 89% was 10s. Now I know that you're saying, well, that's a lot of 10s. Doesn't sound like they're grading it very well, but there again, I did go over these cards very well, and I'll show some of the cards and show the centering and show the surface as best I can. I've already put them in protector sleeves, so I don't want to take them out of that around the cards, but we might take out one just to kind of look at it. But I did submit a gamut of baseball, basketball, and football as well, with 10 submitted in basketball, 66 in baseball, and 11 in football was the majority of it. And out of that, the 1-9 come in basketball, and the rest of them was in baseball. I had 8 actually. If I get to quit focusing right, I got 8 actually that was 9s. Instead of 9 9s, I got the 8 9s, because one of them was in basketball, and then I got one 8.5 in baseball as well. And then all my footballs was a 10. So, but most of these cards, I do want to point out, are 2019 and 2020. So the odds of getting a sharper card or a better card is highly, it's more likely to get a 10. And most of these you'll see are tops, and I pulled a lot of tops. I went through a lot of tops. For instance, like a Yordan Alvarez, I might have 15 to 20 tops of those, and I pulled about 4 or 5 that I thought would definitely get 10s, or 3 or 4, whatever it was the count was. So I was pretty pleased with the results. And I know there's a lot of naysayers out there saying that, like I said, that they're 10s, they're just giving them away. But we'll go over some of these cards and kind of show you a little bit more in detail. But before we go over them, I do want to tell you that the submitting them now has gone up. It's $4 per card to get graded, plus shipping and handling and stuff like that there and back. They have submission forms you fill out, and you get that done and submit it in, and then it's a quick pretty much turnaround. So first of all, let's just look at the card aesthetic wise. Now, like I said, this is in the sleeve, and let's take this one out of the sleeve. This is a football card, actually. Pretty cool little card that we had graded. This is the draft card of 2020 Prism draft. And then you see it's got his names, T. Higgins, and the number, and then a description out there, Pink Pulsar, Prism Rookie, and then a Gem Mint 10. And then it's got a number right here. I'm assuming that that is how many cards they probably have graded. And as you can see, that is a pretty big grade amount. It is what was that? 5,355,442. I'm assuming that's a number. But the aesthetic appeal of the card slab is no different than PSA. And to be honest with you, I kind of prefer this a little bit better, other than the fact of this lettering up here. It could be a little bit bigger because you got plenty of room in here. You make that a little bit bigger, make it a little bit more pop, but I like the 10 up there. The GMA format is pretty cool. So that's the front of the card. And just to look at it, you can kind of see this one got a 10. And you see how sharp it is all the way around. The surface is real clean as well. And here's the back of the card and the look and appeal of the back of it. So the slab is almost pretty similar to PSA. It does have a little price guide thing here, and I will tell you, if you hit that, and all it does is bring you back to the site. So they don't have a price guide information on it. And then the contact us basically goes to their website as well, which is gmagrading.com. So I think these are something that they're planning on doing in the future possibly as well. I don't know. But like I said, they have been on there 10 years. So they don't have a pricing guide like PSA or nothing like that. It's pretty basic. But it does come in a nice slab. And they do stack good on top of each other. We'll take another one. And I know we're getting into baseball here. I mean basketball, but you can see how they, when you put them side by side, they pretty much stack up just like PSA, real clean, and they got like a little hook to them. So, so they're pretty cool. They got a little wiggle to them there, but they do stack nicely right on top of each other. So, and we'll get to look at this in a little bit as well. This one's a what is this? This is a Baker Mayfield that got a 10, and you see the centering is. It might be off a slight bit, but not much at all. I mean, I'd say the worst case scenario, this is like a 55-45, but it's still got a 10. But that's the variance even PSA gives as well. So you see the corners are real sharp. And then the backing of it as well. So, and this is a 2018. So, and it kind of shows a little bit back there, the rated rookie. So that's a little bit of reveal on that. And I want to preface that, but like I said, it's I feel that if I sent some of these cards off to PSA or to Beckett, would they get as many Tims? Maybe not. Maybe not. But I think that it wouldn't be a vastly difference, like only 10 would be graded 10, because I really went over these cards pretty clean. So let me put some of these back in the, well, that goes in backwards. I'll put the flap down towards the other way. And get it in the card sleeve again. So we'll set that off to the side. I will tell you that one of my other buddies that submitted his 32 cards, was a little bit different than mine, and I can't speak for how clean he went over his cards, but he got 24 10s, which is 75%, 1 8, and 7 9s out of his 32 cards, and that's his percentage breakdown. We didn't get anything less than an 8, but of course, like I said, we're putting in newer cards. We're putting, I think, their oldest ones. I think I had a few in there. So these are, let's see, 18. This is a 16. It got a 10 for Michael Thomas rookie. Zeke Elliott got a 10. That's 2016 Donruss. And then an 18. This is just all my football that I submitted in, with the exception of my draft, which I'll show that in a second. But there's a CMC. That's an 18. Got a 10. Another Derrick Henry rookie card that got a 10. I tried to limit the cards that I submitted, one that I would, kind of recent cards, I guess, more than the older cards a little bit. I did put in a lot of draft, and that I just broke as well, which is the Henry. There's a Henry Ruggs rookie, a Joe Burrow rookie, and I'm going to post some of this up. I got some more stuff on my eBay channel as well, but that's just some of the football that we submitted in right through there. So we'll get that out of the way. I did put in some basketball, and like I said, I tried to limit what I feel the card, $5 to $20 range, something like that, prior to being graded. And then I've got some that's going out to SGC, because I'm not submitting anything to PSA. I'm not going to wait 6 to 8 months to get anything, nor am I going to send anything to Beckett that's going to take 6 to 8 months. I mean, that is just freaking ridiculous. That's just stupid to send stuff out and pay a premium price, and then they basically hold your cards that long. So I'm going to try the SGC. I wish I'd done a video prior to showing you the cards before submitting them off to see my expectations that I would have gotten, but we're kind of doing this from the rear end and getting the cards back. But we're going to do some from SGC as well, and that's going to be more of our higher end cards, like $20 or more, that I feel is worth, so that way I can get a better feel of their grading as well. But these are some of the basketball. These are just some, that's a Kobe White Prism, My House. There's a silver Prism, My House, John Morant silver, My House, Zion Williams. That is your purple Prism, as you can see right through there. Rookie. And then you've got a My House Prism Zion. I did put in a numbered card, which is a Devin Booker. It's a 122 out of 149. That's a lime green parallel. They got a 10. And then I got an orange blast out of 39 for Trae Young, which I thought was pretty cool. As you can see on the back here. So, I mean, I will tell you something else. If you'll notice, I don't know if you can hear this, but you can hear it rattling there just a little bit. Just a little bit. You can kind of see the line right there, maybe, and how close it is. It's not perfectly flush, but if you look at something like, for instance, PSA, listen to it. It rattles as well. So it's not much rattling in there. It's not been card shaved or nothing. And this is another one. You can hear it just a little bit in there. So that's just the quality of the case. They probably use the same casing that PSA does. You can see it looks somewhat similar. It's a little bit taller, GMA is, than PSA, and that's due to this up here. It seems like the top end part is a little bit longer and a little bit longer here versus PSA. But as far as the overall sleeving and the hard casing, it looks very similar. It's just a little bit taller here. As you can see, the little bit taller card. I don't know if you can see it very good, but yeah, see, just a little bit taller through GMA. That is one of the main difference I found. I will tell you that just comparing one to the other, the top it's more pop because it's bigger. That's the only down thing I think about GMA, the smaller print. But I mean, as far as aesthetic appeal, I think the GMA looks a lot better. It kind of pops your 10 GMA out here a little bit better, and the back, is somewhat similar. So that's just a little bit of comparison. I don't grade PSA. That's just some of the cards that I picked up. But and we'll just grab some of these over here. These are some of the tops that we submitted in. Some Jordans, some Bobachettes, the Kinos, some of the 10s here. And I want to talk to you a little bit about this one in a minute. They got a 10. And also this one, they got a 10 out of Gypsy Queen. So Kino, we'll set that to the side. But I throw out some Heritage in there as well. Let's see if I can get another light put on. Maybe it'll help a little bit more. I don't know. But yeah, I think that the, some Dustin Mays and stuff like that. Bobachettes, Nico Horner. Like I said, a lot of these are the newer cards. As far as that goes, there's a Luis Roberts there. Let me get this out of the way. Some Roberts and Donruss, and there's the orange. And then I also went and got a little bit of older ones, 18 score for Ronald Acuna Jr. rookie cards. These are a little bit more of the older ones. Ronald Acuna there, classic rookie card. And I got these out of Chronicles, just pulling. There's a limited, and then a Juan Soto. Just dabbled, grabbed some just to send it in, but just made sure when I did grab them that there was at least, there's you know, I went through a bunch of them. There's some of them that I didn't even submit because I'm like, nah, there's no way that's going to get a 10. So I didn't really want to mess with it. And I got a few of these graded as well. These are the Mike Soroka's Bowman's First, and these are 2015. But these are, I got like a lot of, I think it was a lot of 25 of them. And I went through and got some of the better ones to submit in, thinking that they would get 10s, and of course they did. But that's that. Now what I want to go over is what did not get, and the questions that I had with those, and that's this stack right here. Let's start off with the worst one. This is the worst one we got. It's an 8.5. And when I submitted this in, I knew it wasn't going to get a 10. But I had a feeling it might get a 9. Who knows? We'll see what they're grading and how they grade it. Now, some of these casings, like that little nick right there, that's in the plastic sleeve. That's not in the card. So let's I'll tell you what, let's take it out to make a little bit better view on it. So you can see it comes out, it's got dust and stuff on it. But overall, I mean, the card looks good. It's nice, sharp. The color in it. There's nothing on the face of it that was deterred. But there's one thing. If you can see at the bottom right hand corner, that little ding right there, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit better right there, because the gloss really shows it right there. That one little ding, and it's not a real bad one, but it is a ding. Versus, like, say for instance, this side over here that's real sharp, and this one up here that's real sharp, and this one up here is real sharp. You can't really see it that much on the back. Let me see here, which is right here is where it would be. You can't really see it that much on the back, but you can see it right there when you hold it in a different light, because that foil throws it and sets it off. So that's the reason that got a 8.5. So, and I'm fine with that. I mean, it's I didn't feel like it was going to get a 10, but you can just see how quick the grading is, that they're not actually just giving it away. If there's a flaw in the card, they're grading it accordingly. They're not just throwing 10s on it to throw 10s. So that's one flaw that I did find, and was testing that. Now this one, I thought this one was going to be a 10, and it got a 9. But when I went back and looked at it, this is the imperfection. I don't know if you can see it, but right in the surface, it's kind of hard to see. But maybe you can. In the surface, let's see if we can take this out of the sleeve. In the surface, that scratches on the thing, but right, I think it's like right there. You can kind of see it. There's like a little dimple in it right through there. There's a couple of lines right there. In it right there. You can see it now. Right there. In the surface. The dimples. And so that graded that a 9, because otherwise it's a very, very sharp cornered card. Centering is there, about the best you can expect from Optic. So, and that was graded, and you can see it was 15 out of 25. That was my only basketball that got graded less than a 10. So overall, I was pretty happy with that. I'll set that back in there. And where's that? Get this out of the way. So, I hate to make this a real long video, but I do want to kind of just show the difference in my encounter of using GMA and how they do grade their cards, and whether it's a good grading system or not. They do go through the same criteria, it seems like. This one, I couldn't find anything wrong with it. I actually thought this one was going to be a 10. I can't find anything wrong. The corners look to be good. There might be something imperfection in there that I just did not see somewhere. But anyway, they got a 9. So that's one of the 9s. Now, these Aquinos, the only thing that I can think of is the edges of these. When it was cut through the foil, and I don't know if it will show it, but this line down the side of it, it's going to be kind of hard to see. Maybe this orange will show a little bit better. it's kind of a rough edge down the side of the foil. I don't know if you can see it or not, but anyway, those two got a 9. So I'm kind of bummed out about that, but I mean the sharp corners, there's nothing wrong with the corners at all. Like I said, it's a 2020 card. This one is a Boba got a 9. Decade's next. This one, you can see down at the bottom, it's got a touch right there. I didn't see it. I missed that. It's right here as well. It's got a little touch right there in the corner. You can see it, and it shows up because it's black. It shows up a lot easier. So right there, the touch on the corner. So that's what got that a 9. So I mean, you know, that was pretty good. Now these right here, I sent in a bunch of turkey reds, and these 3, the only Jordan that I sent in that I thought was the cleanest one got a 9. So I don't know, but these edges are bad for the turkey reds as well. Not as much the corners as the edges. I've noticed, like for instance, you can see right here at the top, maybe. I don't know if the reflection is there, but right through there you can kind of see a little bit. The edging is off, like a little bit of a rough burr edge kind of deal. There was another one I thought where a corner was touched that I missed. Maybe it was on the back or something. Like down, I don't know if you can see it, but down here at the bottom, see a little bit of a fray down at the corner. Not at the corner, but at the bottom down there a little bit. So that's what caused that to get a 9. But and then the last one in 2018, I don't know what was the matter with this one. I haven't. The only thing that I can think of is maybe right there at the top. You can see a little nick in the edge that got a 10. So I don't know, but that's that. As far as the 9s. Now I want to point out this, and that's only two Gypsy Queens I sent. I don't know if they consider this part of the card, but down at the bottom, and I don't know if they missed it or what, but it's got like a little touch, maybe right there. I don't know if you can see it right there, just a little white speck right there, just at the corner edge, and it still got a 10. So I don't know if that would be considered a true 10 in PSA, or is that just so insignificant down there at the corner that even GMA was like, no, there's no way. See it? I don't know if you can see it in the background, just a little bit of the white. And this is kind of the same thing. This one shows up a little bit better. See it down there at the corner? There's a little speck of white down there. It's almost like a leftover piece of cardboard that's on the corner, but it still got a 10. So I don't know if they missed that, or if it's a fact considered to be still a 10 just because of like extra cardboard is just there. It's not a rounded corner, it's not a turned up corner, nothing like that. It's just like a little, almost like, if you want to say it, like a fuzz, and like I said, I got these right out of the packs, put them in sleeves, and submitted them right off to GMA, and they've been in my card savers ever since. So, but that's my video. I hope everybody enjoyed it a little bit as far as what to expect from GMA. I do look at it like this: the price has now gone up from $3.50 per grading card, or from $3. It was $3 at bulk and $3.50 for singles. Now it's $4 and $3.50 bulk if you send more than 100 cards in. If you look at as far as overall price, you get a quality product back. That's at a lot lesser. Will it sell as much as PSA and Beckett? No. It's a GMA card, but it's still graded. It's still in a hard sleeve. It still is protected, and it's still a good grade on it. Could this? I'm just going to take this for example. Could this have been a 9.5 or a 9? Maybe. Will it be below the 9? No, it will not be. They're not off by that much, if they're off any at all. I can speak on that on my behalf. Now, other ones, submitting cards in with round corners or whatever, and they get a 10, I can't speak for that. But what I can speak for is my cards. I can't speak for the other guy that submitted his cards because he didn't go over them like I did. But I feel that my cards that I got back was a true reflection of grading. Give or take 2 or 3 cards out of 89. What do you expect? I mean, it is a grading criteria that is subject to interpretation of what they look at. I did look at a lot of this underneath magnifying glasses. I'm not going to sit in a line and say I didn't. As you can see, my little magnifying glass here, I get in and I zoom in on corners and stuff like that. But when you're talking about 86 cards, it's hard to get everything, whereas they probably scrutinize it a little bit more than I do. So that's the reason why I didn't get all 10s. And there's a few that I knew I wasn't going to get as well. So just kind of testing the waters. And it did come back as a result of less than that. So I hope everybody enjoyed this little video. Like I said, I normally rip packs. I normally get on there, but I decided to go some in the grading. So we will take another video out and do some SVG, SGC grading and the process and the steps on that. But I want to leave you with this. I pulled 2 opening day hangers just to rip stuff. Haven't got an SP or an SSP or anything in all the opening days that I've opened, and I just opened that just for fun. And out of 3 hangers that I picked up this weekend, I got a Lewis Roberts short print, and first time I've ever seen this, a super short print. It says Dugout Peaks of Acuna Jr., and I'm a collector of him, so I'll definitely be hanging on to this probably, maybe even get this graded, you never know. But I thought that was neat. The numbers that I put there is their serial numbers, the last 3 digits, just like that on that. So it's going to be hard for me to pass up on these out of my collection or sell, because I thought it was pretty neat. It is opening day, but that's the fun of pulling packs, is getting the big hits, even with opening day. So, but anyway, I had fun. Message me, hit me up on my email at Clark Sports Cards. At dwightguyclark@gmail.com, which will be in my video. If you have any questions or anything like that about GMA, I actually called the guy down there prior to submitting my cards and get a fill out of what all he said. He said even put it to attention Alan, and he'll directly get everything done for me, because we did send in a little over 100 cards. So I was very pleased with the customer service, the card quality, the return, and the packaging, getting it back. So yeah, can't speak enough for GMA. Like I said, will it hold the value of PSA? No, I don't expect it to be, but I'm paying a lot quicker price, or a lot lower price, a lot faster turnaround if I just want to get cards graded and put them out. And if you just want to do it for your PC, I know some people are like, well, why would you do that for your PC? Why not invest your PC with PSA? Well, if you want to wait 6 to 8 months to get back your submission, have at it. Are you giving up money by sending it to GMA? Yeah, I would expect I expect the value to be probably a 10 would be somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 to 3%, or 2 to 3 times factor, versus like of the base card, versus like it seems like that SGC is around a 7, 6, 7, 8 factor as far as base, where PSA is more of a 8 to 9 factor, and along with Beckett. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Once again, we'll be throwing up some more videos later on and ripping some packs. So y'all keep cool and keep on ripping. Clark Sports Cards out.